Hi and welcome. We are Sonica and Christian, and between the two of us, we have some 40 years experience helping people just like you creating lasting breakthroughs in their relationship.
And if we were going to depict how most singles and couples look to us when they come work with us, we would describe it like this visually. Notice how I'm pulling for something, I'm wanting something, and the other person is pulling away from what I want. They're resisting giving it to me. So see if this looks familiar to you in your relationship. I want more connection, more intimacy.
I just want more sex.
I want you to help around the house.
I want you to respect me and appreciate me for everything I do.
I really want you to focus in on listening to me when I want to share.
I want you to talk less.
Oh, God.
Can't I just get a break? Can't I just get a little space?
And if you're single, it still looks the same. Only the words are a little different, right? I want you to call me back.
Yeah, or they do it sort of with the universe. I want a date. Where's that good man? I want it. I want it. Where's that good woman?
Or the second they're in a relationship, I want you to commit.
I want you to commit.
Right? Notice how he has to resist my wanting, or we're both falling over. Notice in this dynamic that the more I pull, the more he resists.
It's like that law you heard of in physics class when you were in school that says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When I pull on her or she on me, I have to resist, she has to resist.
Or somebody's going to fall over.
Right.
We actually call this the old paradigm of relating. It's rooted in our culture where we're focused on trying to get our needs met in relationship. But there's something you got to know if you're going to create a successful relationship. Wanting and having cannot exist in the same space. When I am wanting something from my partner, I cannot have it.
So if this is having, this is wanting. Notice the distance between us as opposed to having. There's another caveat or trap about this, what we call the old paradigm of relating, that you really have to know about. And that is how you try to make it better. How you try to put things back to how great they were actually makes it worse for you. So see, you can remember, right, in the beginning of your relationship when it was all happy and lovely and fun and you had lots of sex and admiration and you were, everything was great, right? A couple of years later, maybe not so much. And we know that. I know it's not the same now. So what do I do to bring it back to being great? I tell her about the problem. And the problem is, you don't listen to me anymore. You don't talk to me respectfully anymore.
All you want to do is have sex. You never want to hang out and connect
You
with
never
me.
want to have sex anymore. You used to. You don't want to have sex now.
This is part of this old paradigm of relating, which is let's focus in on trying to talk about and fix the problem, right? That's what therapy is all rooted in. We do weekly sessions. We talk about the problem so we
Right.
can fix you.
Really, why you don't want to have sex anymore is probably because that thing that happened with your mom in the past, or maybe I'm a bastard because my dad was such a whatever.
But really what happens when we focus in on the problem is we create more of that problem. We're actually talking more about not having sex and intimacy than we're actually having intimacy.
Right.
And
I remember a couple that came to our training once. She said they had been in therapy for a couple of years, and she said, "I am so sick of talking about our problems. It feels like I just have to talk, and I never get to actually have any fun."
So we have some good news. We have created a whole new paradigm for relating so that you can actually move from wanting to having everything you desire in your relationship. This new paradigm, this new approach to relationship, it's profound, it's extremely effective, and it's fun.
Yeah, and one of the things I like for my male logical brain is it's a system that produces reliable results. Once I figure out how to practice it, it comes with the tools for me to do that. Once I figure out how to do that, the results are reliable and I can reproduce them over and over again.
We had one couple who came to our course. They were on the verge of divorce. And just from the tools that we teach through this new approach, they were able to revive intimacy and completely change the course of their marriage.
Yeah, or the lady I just referred to who said, "I'm so sick of talking about our problems." They came to us as a very last-ditch effort. They had been married for 30 years, I believe. And they had already planned out their divorce, actually, for how that was going to look. So this was their last ditch effort, and she said, wow, I had no idea it could be fun. You can actually have fun while you put your relationship back together. And they are still happily together and loving it very much. As a matter of fact, they sent their adult kids to the same training because they really wanted to pass on a great legacy of relationship.
We had another couple who came, a woman who was very estranged from her husband, and after just one day of the course, came in the next Sunday morning and said, I made love with God last night, and the only difference with the man in my bed was me.
Guess how her husband felt when he heard that he was the God that was being made love to. Or I remember a single man who came. He hadn't been in a relationship for about 10 years since his divorce and was very shy and in doubt of his own capacity to do anything in relationship. He actually burst into tears on the first day when he stepped himself into love, when he felt all the love that was available to him right now. And he changed this mousy posture, I'd say. He was kind of like a mouse, like this.
Like a needy man.
Like a needy man, yeah. He was like this. Can you just love me? Can you just love me? Can you just love me? To a powerful stance. Bam. Getting his manhood and his ability to, oh, I can create that. And he's now out practicing, having fun, revitalizing touch and dates and intimacy and the whole glory of relationship.
There are several claims that we address in this course. And one of the claims that we address is that everything you've been taught about relationship is wrong. You've been trained to go about your relationship trying to get your needs met. And you can already see from our demonstration, right, that that doesn't work.
Yeah. Next claim we address is everything you do to make it better actually makes it worse. I call this the everyday tragedy of relationship because you're trying your darndest to make it better, but it doesn't get better.
Another claim we address is what you think you want is not what you really want. There are actually layers to wants. And as long as I think what I want is for you to spend more time with me, then that puts me in a position of having to control or change you. But in actuality, there's something deeper I'm really wanting. And when I get in touch with what that is, I can go straight for giving it to myself.
Right. And there's a flip side to this, which is another claim that we will totally nail, which is what you think you're upset about is not really what you're upset about. So if I'm upset about you don't ever want to have sex with me anymore, which you used to, I think the cure for that is getting you to want to have sex, right? That is not what I'm really upset about. What you think you're upset about is never really that, ever. No exceptions.
And I'll tell you, just that one claim, we've had people change their whole lives just from this one piece of the workshop that we cover. Another claim we address is you actually can change and influence your partner, right? Remember we talked about that earlier. If I change my stance, then I actually allow you to be different as well, right? Now instead of resisting, you're freed up to just be.
Yeah, and finally we address that love is love that you want. It's a space that you can enter into, step into at any given time, anywhere. If you know how to do it, you don't have to wait for it until your partner does ABC or until a partner shows up for you. Love is here for you right now.
We're going to give you in this course our fulfillment formula. How do you actually move from wanting to having? And you don't have to air your dirty laundry and you don't have to dredge up the past. You can actually have fun in the process of doing it. This course is a 2-day course. It's Give Yourself to Love is what we call it. It will give your relationship a complete makeover.
Right. And to remove any fear or risk you might feel about this, we get this can be a risk to do something new like this you haven't done before. We want to give you the guarantee, actually, that you can sign up for this course and come attend the entire course. And if afterwards you don't think it was hugely useful and transformational, you can ask us for your money back and we will give it to you.
And we've never had anybody ask for their money back.
No, we never have. So we feel confident in offering that and we totally stand by it.
At the end of this course, let's tell you what you're going to get. One thing, you're going to have tremendous new hope and possibility for your relationship.
Yeah, and you're going to be so much more connected and literally in love.
You're going to know what to do to quickly end fights. I just spoke with a woman this week who attended our Give Yourself to Love course. She said fights that used to take 3 days are now taking 15 minutes from what we addressed in this course.
Yeah. You're going to know how to move as partners, how to move as friends moving forward. Instead of being opponents, now you'll be on the same page, walking in the same direction.
You're going to know exactly what to do to revive your intimacy in relationship.
And you're going to be totally on the right track to have and create and maintain this love and fun-filled and easy relationship that you dream of, that you just never can stop dreaming of until you have it.
I'll tell you, what we give you in this course is so leading edge, profoundly impactful and powerful that literally 2 days can change your life. And I will tell you, it is perfect for you if you find yourself fighting a lot in your relationship.
If you blame and criticize each other,
If you don't have great, passionate sex,
or you don't hold hands or touch much anymore,
or if you're sleeping apart, either in the same bed or in separate rooms,
right? Or if you avoid or ignore each other.
if you don't make quality time for the two of you. Truthfully, if you're not happy and in love and joyous 90% of the time, this course is perfect for you.
So what's it going to require of you to make it happen? Well, it's going to require 2 days of your time. It's going to require you to put a little money down. And it's going to require, most of all, for you to be willing to take a risk and step into something that you haven't stepped into before.
And will be frank with you. If you don't do anything, your relationship is going to stay the same or get worse.
Yeah.
It is not going to get better by itself. It can't get better inside this old paradigm. And it also can't get better if you don't have something to replace all those dysfunctional patterns that you already have in place that aren't working.
Right? We'd love to tell you that, don't worry, it's going to get better. We just know that that's not the case. We have worked with too many hundreds and hundreds of couples and singles to know that. If you do nothing, you risk reaching what we call the tipping point. That's the point of no return. The point where one of you say, I'm done, I've had it. No more mediation, no more talking, no more counseling, I'm done. We actually had a great friend of ours who experienced this just earlier this summer. Great couple, at least so everybody thought. They've been married for 25, 30 years. They got 3 kids, all happy, healthy looking. And over the summer, she all of a sudden said, I'm done. No more. No more. And when he told us about it, he said, yeah, I knew we had some problems, but I just figured that someday we'd get around to taking care of them. The tipping point reached them before they got around to it.
I'll tell you, another negative impact of not doing anything is that your kids are going to copy and mimic your bad relationship habits. If you're fighting all the time, guess what they're being exposed to? If you don't know how to work through your issues and your problems, you don't know how to be connected and love, and you're not expressing any affection, your kids are learning about relationship from you, like it or not. And truthfully, the real tragedy to not doing something different is you risk being stuck and trapped and unhappy and dissatisfied in relationship for as long as you live. Because again, if you don't know anything different, what else are you going to do? You can, and probably a lot of you with the high divorce rate in our country, you may be on your 4th, 5th, 6th relationship. You already know that just changing partners doesn't necessarily make it better either, because it's not long before you're wanting something from the new person.
Right. And as you'll know when you come to hang out with us in person, we don't spend very much time talking about the doomy, gloomy side of things. We are the biggest proponents of all for that love can be yours, for relationship being the best of the best, where you get to be your very best and you get to call forth the best in your partner, and you get to have fun and ease and sex and just pure delight. We know for a fact that you can have that. And we also say the other part because, like we said, between us, we have 40 years experience. We have worked with hundreds and thousands of couples and singles, and we just watched so many times what will happen if you do nothing different. If you're greatly happy with where you're at, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, do something different. Come play with us.
Not only have we made a difference for hundreds and thousands of other singles and couples, but we are living what we teach. We know it works because we are having this fairy tale relationship, and we want you to have it too.
Who knew fairy tale relationships are reproducible?
So please join us for 2 days. Give yourself to love. Give your relationship a makeover, whether you're single or coupled. This workshop has the possibility of completely transforming your love life for the rest of your life.
We look very forward to being with you.